Welcome in, guys. Today we're going to be checking out the OGRYN squad and whether or not they are a good unit. Is this a unit that you use often? Is it unique? Is it fun? Is it better than all the others? Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, though, guys, let's check them out here. They cost 110 points to feature. Okay, in your army, it's going to cost you 110 points. Health at 150. If you were to divide these up by 5, it'd be 90 hit points per unit. So keep that in mind. 150 is actually pretty dang awesome. Movement points 4, armor 4, evasion 5, all standard, pretty good. First thing we want to look at is the Ripper gun. So the Ripper gun is essentially a shotgun. It has 3 attacks, bang bang bang, right? Base damage 11 to 15 per shot. Splash damage 4 times the splash damage per shot of 6 to 9. Armor piercing at 3. Range 1 to 4, optimal at 2. And of course, base accuracy 75. Well, it's a big old shotgun, so what do you expect? Now, you probably noticed that it does have a bayonet on the front. Whether or not you want to call it a bayonet or a freaking Rambo blade sticking off the end there, well, that's up to you. But they do have the ability to charge. They get 1 attack with the charge, so 1 per model, that's 3. And the base damage would be 45 to 60, armor piercing 6. And a 90% accuracy, which is fairly dang. That's pretty good. Now, I will say with the Ripper gun, going back to that, the Ripper gun is fantastic against any of your smaller units or grouped up units. Being that it gets 4 extra splash to the base damage is actually phenomenal. Especially when you're talking about smaller units, lower units, units of 5 or more. This is where it really shines. If it were to go against like the Casterkin, it would absolutely tear them up. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now, we talk about like base armor being 4, so you might get a little debuff to that shot, so you got to figure out where that value is. As for the Ripper bayonet, when you attack, it may be 1, but 6 armor piercing is actually pretty nice. And it stacks really well with guys like the Commissar, where they show them steal, 25% more melee damage, 25% more critical chance, and cannot be suppressed, which means they can run in at the enemy and not worry about that overwatch or the retaliation shots. One of the cool things with the abilities is the infantry stat. Yeah, they might be hulking ogres, but then again, they are infantry, so they can embed the officer per the officer ability. If you'd like to check that out, go check those videos out. All the links down below if you want to see the campaign for these for this, or if you want to see all the unit guides, you can check that in the description section below. The next thing that they have is Wall of Muscle. Increases the chance of shots and melee attacks against the ogre unit to be just considered grazes, and that's plus 10 graze chance when attacked. Now, that may seem pretty insignificant, but with a very low accuracy of any unit that's trying to shoot them, any unit that shoots these guys or goes to attack these guys, if they're debuffed already or they don't have good accuracy, there's a better chance that you're going to end up getting grazed, which plays into the health being so high. The next thing is Furious Charge. Now, this one's unique. When you look at it, it doesn't make sense compared to how it actually works. So what the unit does is it charges through enemies that it can see. It does 15 to 20 damage with 4 armor piercing to all units in the path. If the charge is successful, the enemy unit's evasion will be reduced by 0. All the units that you run through lose their evasion. The range of Furious Charge is increased per the unit's momentum value. So if you already have really high momentum, it's time to charge, because you're like fired up, you know what I mean? And then you charge through. But the one issue that I will say, when you make these charges, a lot of times it feels like you're caught out on an island. What I mean by that is, if you charge through 3 guys and take away their evasion, you might get stuck around a bunch of enemies surrounding him where he's just going to simply die. Kind of a suicide charge, it feels like a lot of the times. Unless you can figure out a way that it works where you're on the end and you charge through a line that's already there, that's a different scenario altogether. The last ability is Bodyguard. Swaps place with adjacent HQ unit when they're attacked by melee or charge attacks. This unit will then take all the damage intended for the HQ command unit and receive 15% HP for 1 turn. There's a cooldown of 2. If you swap places with an HQ unit, they go to attack you, you take the brunt of it, plus you also get that bonus. It's like a shield, is what it kind of looks like on your character. So just keep that in mind. It can come in handy. I haven't seen this be as effective as I'd like it to be, but then again, the fact that they're harder to hit, which is interesting, with the graze ability, it's interesting. This is one that I'm tossed up on, unless there's somebody who's really like, I need to protect someone, but it literally is a bodyguard where you just swap with the HQ unit and protect them. you take the brunt. So these guys kind of remind me of a bit of a, think of the movie with Harley Quinn squad. That's what these guys are. And that's what it reminds me of. Otherwise, they can be really effective just with their shotgun and their bayonet up close. Now, the question you've been waiting for, is it a good unit? What are my thoughts and opinions on this? Would I field them? Should you field them? This is what I think. Now, before I do, though, guys, take 2 seconds, hit that like. I know it's annoying. I know it's ugly when YouTubers ask these things, but literally the content does not get shown if you don't take your time to hit that like or make a comment. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys did. But with that being said, let's talk about it. So I think that the OGRYN squad is absolutely amazing in its own right. If you're using them properly, I think that it's very, very nice. Units that like melee, I love having these guys up front in that regard. Because when they attack, we retaliate and beat the hell out of them with these bayonets. A lot of damage, very helpful. The shotgun ability works against anything that's 4 armor or less and has a bunch of models because of the fact that it has all that splash damage. The Ripper gun is just great. I mean, it's a great shotgun. I've killed many units or finished off many units that with this weapon. Overall, you get them for the health, you get them for the Ripper gun and the bayonet. Now the abilities. The Gray's ability obviously is fantastic with them. Being able to charge with this unit is a lot of fun, but remember, you can only attack 3 models on a charge. So using the actual bayonet is only good for as many models as you have. You don't get extra attacks. So you need to make sure that you're only charging with units like single, 2 units, 3 units, and that's it. If you want to attack something with 5 units, sure, bring it down, take it down a little bit, right? But otherwise, you're going to want to use these more for units that are less in number. The fact that they have infantry, it only makes these your HQ units better, more specifically Castilian and the Commissar. Yeah, Commissar obviously works the best with them. The Furious charge ability, I'm not a fan of it. The evasion portion of it is really good, but again, it feels kind of suey squad. it feels a little suey to the sidey. You know what I mean? So because of the fact that you're going through units and ending up in a place you may not want. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always that way. I will utilize it if need be, but there are some downsides to that as well. Finally, Bodyguard. I think Bodyguard can be good. It just hasn't felt that great. It will save your Commissar. It will save your Castilian. Again, it will do those things, but is that really what you want? So you may only take, going into battle, you may only take 2 or 3 of these guys, maybe just 2, and keep them close as a literal bodyguard to your HQ units. That's what I would do. Now, if you're really sold on the Ripper and all those, then you can just take 4 of them and shred everybody and run at everybody and charge, and anything that's big you take down with the bayonet. Otherwise, anything small you just take down with the shotgun. So yeah, very versatile unit, but I think they're good. So yeah, hopefully you guys did like this one. If you did, do the things, and yeah, and if you want to see more of this content, in the description section below you can look at all the other playlists for Astra Militarum. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.